You're watching Adorama TV.
Hi everybody, welcome to iPad app reviews right here on Adorama TV. I'm Mark Wallace. Well, this week we have an app that is awesome. It's called Photo-365. Remember your year, one photo at a time. And that title pretty much describes what the app does. It allows you to put photos in on a calendar view, and then every single day you can see the photo, the best photo of that day. And you can share that with Twitter and Facebook and friends and email and all kinds of stuff. And you can also scrub through that year and see what your year was like. Well, this is an awesome application. Maybe if you're traveling or if you have a new child, you want to document the first year of their life or maybe several years. So let's take a closer look at how this app works. All right, let's take a close look at Photo-365. Now it loads really quickly. Once it's popped in here, what you'll see is a calendar of the current month. And the nice thing is for every single day that you've taken a photo, that photo shows up instead of the number. And so you can see exactly what you shot that month. And you can scroll back and forth to different months. And so I didn't have this until recently, but I had a couple of pictures at the last part of October. I go over here, so we're into November. And the nice thing about this is if you want to see these photos, there's a couple of different ways to do it. So I can just click on a photo, and that pops it up in this little window there. And so I can see, here's what I shot that day. That's the best shot of the day. I can click here, it goes to the next photo. So here's the untour with Amir and Kara, so we were hanging out. And if I want to, I can actually add some captioning here. And so I can just click this little bubble right here, and then I can type something in here. And so I can say the untour. And so there it is, the untour. I've got that in there. I can close that. And now that is connected to this photo. And then I can just go to the next photo. And I can see, so here's my friend Z and I hanging out in New York. I can click that, and now it's a large view of the image. Now, one thing you can't do is you can't just hit this and scroll to the next day. It just pops back in. So there isn't a gesture support to go back and forth through the days, and I think they'll add that later. But for now, you just sort of pop through these one at a time. There's Andy giving a demo. So you can sort of see there's Times Square. But you can go and see what the best photo is for each day. Now, a couple of things to note. These images will be cropped if you shoot them vertically. So this was a shot I took on my iPhone, and this is Andy from The Unknown Photographer, an awesome show that you should check out. And what I can do here is I can click that and see Andy full screen, or I can just make that go up and down to see what's going on there. And so that works like that. The other thing you can do here is you can pull in something that you shot maybe on your DSLR. So I used an app called Photo Transfer, and I popped in this image that I shot. This was for the Canon campaign that we did for the Canon printer. This is of Michael, so I have already titled that. I can click this. I can see that full screen. I can go back, make him disappear. And you can do that. It's really, really simple. Now you can sort of see how you can zip back and forth between images. There's another way to do that, though. You can click this little button down here. It looks like a little landscape icon. And then you get this ribbon down here. And then you can sort of scroll through there and see these really quickly. If you just want to see what images you have in your library, you want to look at, see what your month was like. So you can sort of zip through there and see what's happening there. So we've got those in there. Now the other thing that I can do here is if I want to share this month, I can do that by hitting this @ sign right here, and that will take me into my Mail app. And what it does is it just adds a JPEG image of your month and throws that in, and so people can sort of look through that and see it. And it's pretty darn cool. So I can hit cancel because I don't want to send that right now. The other thing I can do here is I can send that to Facebook or Twitter or Flickr. So I've got those three. Now I have to connect this to those accounts, and so I don't want to do that right now. But you can, again, post these photos to different social networks just using these built-in icons. And then there's this little eye right here, and that gives you some info so you can tell a friend about it. You can even set daily reminders. And so if you want to go in here and say, hey, remind me every single day to add a photo to Photo-365, you can do that. So you can add a little reminder on your iPad or your iPhone. The nice thing is this works back and forth between the iPhone and iPad through iTunes. And so you can have the app on both devices and then sync them. So I can have that reminder either on my iPhone or my iPad. There's customer support, and there's Facebook and Twitter to help you out. So that's what that is. Now let me show you how to add a photo to a day. So we're going to go in here to Friday the 11th of November, and it just is so simple. So take a photo or choose from an album. So what I could do is I can hit this little icon here for the camera. The camera opens up, and there's my hand, and I can just take a picture of that. There it is. It's the worst photo ever, but that's how easy it is to add a photo to the calendar. Now the other thing you can do that is really useful, especially if you're bringing in photos from either your iPhone or maybe you have a J1 or a DSLR or a different camera, what you can do here is you can open up your camera roll, and you can either use your roll or your photo stream if you're using iCloud. So I'm going to go into my camera roll here. What I'm going to do is add a picture that I took of me and Joel. So there's Joel from Adorama. He's awesome. And so that's the picture that I like. I'm going to add a little icon, a little caption rather. I'm going to have it say Joel, because if you've ever met Joel, that's sort of how he rolls. So there it is, Joel, the awesomeness. So I close that, and now there it is on the 11th. And I can do that once a day, every single day, and pretty soon I'll have this massive collage of photos that not only document my day and my week and my month, but my year and eventually several years. And so you can remember your life in pictures, one picture per day. Well, that was Photo-365, and as you can see, it's a really fun app and one that's very worth having, and it's only 99 cents, so you might as well get it now before the price goes up. Well, if you love iPad apps and all things iPad, make sure you visit the Adorama Learning Center, where you'll see all of the apps that we've reviewed in the past months. There's tons of them out there, and at the Adorama Learning Center, you can also see tips and tricks for photography and instructions and articles and all kinds of things. So make sure you check it out, and don't forget to subscribe to our channels here so you get every single episode and you don't miss a thing. Well, thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you again next week.
This episode is brought to you by Adorama TV. Visit the Adorama Learning Center, where you'll find photography tips and techniques, links to the gear used in this episode, and related videos. For all the latest photography, video, and computer gear, visit Adorama.com. And the next time you're in New York City, visit our store located on 18th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue.